Hi everybody, my name is Rob. I'm an illustrator for Ayota Illustration. This is my girlfriend Carla. She runs Ayota Illustration. This is our first video. We're here to talk about comic books and superheroes and everything that we love. We just got back from Captain America Civil War, and we figured our first video would be a good time to talk about that movie.
Yeah, we were waiting for this movie for a very long time, so we are very excited.
Yeah, we're both fans of Captain America and the Marvel Universe in general. One thing that we like to do with all the movies we see is I always ask Carla right when we get out of the movie. I say, "What do you get? 1 through 10. What's your score?" So I'm gonna ask her now, "What's your score for Captain America? 1 out of 10."
So my score for Captain America it would be probably an 8. I
An
think.
8.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 probably. Maybe 7.5, but I'm gonna stick with 8.
Okay. I'm gonna give it. Oh man, this is hard. I think this is gonna be one time where we usually don't happen on the same number, but I might be at an 8 with her. I think I am. So that's kind of weird. I didn't expect to agree with you.
Yeah.
So before we went to see this movie, Carla's known ever since we've met that I'm a Captain America guy. I've been a Captain America fan since I read the Ultimates in the early 2000s. And Carla has always told me that she's more Iron Man than Captain America. In fact, I had to kind of turn her on to Captain America a little bit when we met, and I had her read the Ultimates and whatnot. So for all things considered, we're on the same page as far as what we know about the characters. But after seeing this movie, what do you think? Are you on Team Iron Man or Team Captain America? Before the movie started, she was Team Iron Man.
Yeah.
And how about now?
Now I'm still Team Iron Man. Like, I've never been a lot of a fan of Captain America. Like, you know this. And yeah, I read the Ultimates and then I understood a little more about Captain America, but didn't like him as much. He's not definitely not my kind of superhero. I mean, I can admire him for what he does, but
is that because he's kind of a goody two shoes?
Yes, he's like.
She needs a bad boy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm still Team Iron Man because after watching the movie, and we said we're not going to give any spoilers, right?
No spoilers.
Yeah, after watching the movie, it went back and forth for me. Like, at first I was Team Iron Man, then at the middle of the movie I was like, well, maybe I'm Team Captain America, and then at the end of the movie I was like, no, definitely Team Iron Man. I feel like I understand where Tony Stark is coming from, and I understand him a lot more than I would understand Captain America. So I can understand Tony Stark's actions and why he did all those things, but I couldn't understand why Captain America was being such a, I don't want to say bad words, but yeah.
Well, so you don't understand that Captain America, he every time he was working for somebody, it turned out to be a bad situation, right?
Every time, no.
Well, yeah, when he was working for, I almost said Hydra, but Shield turned out to be Hydra, right? So that's one example. There's other. When they infiltrated the army, right, during World War II. It seems like every time he's involved with somebody else's group, they make bad decisions, and Bucky being the best example, and they know this from the previews and from Winter Soldier, that they took his best friend and had decisions made for him.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know that, but I don't know.
Well, and you're more of a Batman guy than a
Mm.
Superman, or Batman girl, sorry, than a
Yeah.
Superman girl,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, maybe I made up my mind before, but like with Batman versus Superman, I changed my mind to Superman, but this time it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
No.
So, okay, so Captain America, we know this from the preview, so this isn't spoiling anything, and from all the interviews they do all the time. But Captain America doesn't want an outside group to make decisions for the Avengers. He believes that they. I'm trying not to describe this in a way that shows my lean towards Captain America. Um, he believes that his point of view, I think, is that the Avengers should take full responsibility for their actions and decisions, and that like passing off the responsibility to another group of people is kind of like, I guess for lack of a better description, not taking the responsibility onto themselves, saying that like, and it's kind of like you could say, well, I was just following orders. That's the line that comes to mind, and that's an excuse for a lot of the bigger atrocities in history. And I think Captain America is somebody who's pretty qualified. At least you would imagine that character is pretty qualified to know that.
Yeah, my thing with Captain America is that he's doing he also has like alternative motives, not be not for I'm not saying working for the government is good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying that like he's not as good as everyone thinks because like in the end he wants to save his friend.
So you're saying he's doing it out of personal reasons because of his loyalties to his friends rather than for principle.
Yeah, well, I know Captain America has a lot of principles, but yeah, in this movie, it's for me it seemed like it was all about his friend, and of course, Iron Man has also personal motives, but it isn't until the end of the movie where his personal motives are revealed, and Captain America is from the beginning of the movie is following like his final objective is to save his friend. For me, it was like
but,
that.
I mean, I don't think it was just that it was his friend. It was also because he believed, whether this is true or not, because we're not spoiling it. He believes that his friend is not guilty, is innocent of the crimes and the crimes that the Winter Soldier committed. You know that from the second movie, Winter Soldier. This being the third. That he was brainwashed. So, he's trying. It wouldn't be justice to punish somebody who had no control over their actions. They weren't. It was like his body was being used without his mind being there.
Right, which which makes him a weapon.
Right, a dangerous weapon, which I think, that's where Tony was coming from, is that there's too much power here to handle. There's too much at stake, and so large part of Iron Man's motivation was to play it safe, right? To safeguard.
Yeah.
It's like, rather than take risks.
Well, playing it safe, and because he realized, and like this from all the movies, but like when they are fighting, of course they are killing lots of innocent people. Like I know it's for a greater good or something like that, but then like Tony Stark realized that when he sees one particular story, and that's I think his reason for accepting this. And
well, yeah. I mean, whether you want to say that he's trying to take too much responsibility, saying that the Avengers are a threat and that they need to be curtailed, or they need to be monitored or sanctioned, you know, or maybe that he's not taking enough responsibility and saying, here's my problem with Iron Man's point of view, is that he's saying that he doesn't have the compass, that moral compass inside himself that tells him what's right or wrong, that he needs a separate committee to approve of his actions. And I guess that, like, I told this to Carla as soon as we got out, like, I have such a hard time even having, like, a boss, you know, like, I tend to last a lot longer in jobs where I'm the boss or she's the boss, or where I don't have a boss. And I think, so there's that part of me that relates to Captain America as well. And anytime I look at this, I always, do I like Iron Man? I love Iron Man, and I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. It's wonderful. It's so entertaining, and I love the other 3 Iron Man movies. And this movie is just as good or better. I think most people would say better. I happen to like, you know what, like, I like so many of the superhero movies that have come out in the past 10 years because I think I'm of the age where I remember how bad superhero movies were when I was growing up, or like superhero anything was that. And like, so for me, like Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 were phenomenal. Like I love those movies. And speaking of other superhero movies, what was your rating for Batman versus Superman?
That was definitely I don't remember if I gave it like a 9 or 9.5, but yeah, probably 9.5.
Yeah, and I guess, okay, so what? We these last 2 times we agreed. We're agreeing with our scores for the last 2 movies that we saw. We saw Batman versus Superman twice, and I loved it. She loved it. We're curious if there's anybody else out there who actually liked Batman versus Superman better than Captain America 3. Let us know, because it kind of feels like we may be the only 2. You know, based on looking at the internet.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, let us know. Tons of great characters in this movie. Who's your favorite? Okay, well, we know you're on Team Iron Man, but who's your favorite character in this movie?
I liked a lot of characters in this movie.
Do you have one that stands out more?
Yeah, probably Black Widow. I mean, I'm her fan from before, but she showed like great decision making. I don't want to say any spoilers,
but quite a range, right? You got to see like her doing different things, and she wasn't just action. She had a lot of acting parts in this movie, which was great because ScarJo is a great actress.
Yeah, she's a great actress, and I think Black Widow can. I mean, she was an assassin for the KGB, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she's in the Avengers, and she became a good guy, so a good girl. So I think like she did what she felt was right in all of the movie. Didn't matter which team she was in, so that's why I really like her.
You like that she followed her heart?
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, no, she was great.
What was your favorite character?
Well, I thought about asking you the question before I had the answer myself, but it's tough. I'd have to say, well, I really love Captain America, and he probably is my favorite. If I had to pick a second favorite, I'd say Spider-Man.
Because you love Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man. They did Spider-Man right. They totally did Spider-Man right. He was great, and I'm totally want to see more Spider-Man done like this. And I there is no cramming characters into this movie. Everybody, it felt like a well thought out, well plotted. Everybody had a part to play that was like needed for the plot to work. And it was there weak links, yeah, but I don't want to go over them because I do feel like that taints a moviegoer's experience, and since this is spoiler free, I don't really want to say. Was there a couple of weak spots for me personally? Yeah, but and there generally is a weak spot or two in most movies. If I was thinking like, have I seen any movies where there's no weak spots?
Yes.
The first. Okay, can you say a movie that has no weak spots for you?
I just saw this with you, so Ip Man. Probably there are more, but
Oh yeah, Ip Man. Ip Man. No weak spots. There. That's perfect example, right? Give me 5. That's a great. I guess we do agree, but we swear a lot of times we don't agree. Maybe it's the longer we're together, the more we start to agree on things. I don't know.
Probably if we did a spoiler version, we wouldn't agree on a lot of
if we do a
things.
spoiler version, we're guessing that there might be more disagreements. So let us know, please, if you will, if you'd like us to do a spoiler version. Put that in the comments. Every character in this movie stands out. Every character left me interested for more. It was definitely one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen, and I'm so happy about seeing it, and I want to see it again as soon as I can.
Well, for me, yeah, it was a good movie, but for me, I would put it like below all the other Marvel movies. Like, yeah, all like Avengers was better, Thor was better.
You thought Thor was better, the
yeah.
first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You like Thor better than this movie?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I liked Thor. I did. I thought especially the first one, I liked a lot. But I like this movie.
I think it was also like all the excitement built around it, and then
Oh, you mean the hype?
yeah, the hype,
Yeah.
and
A lot of hype.
and then it wasn't. Well, for me, it wasn't what I thought it would be. So yeah, I mean, I liked it, but I
gave
think
it an 8.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it, but I like a lot better like all Marvel movies. Like Captain America 1 and 2 are better than this one for
Really?
me. Yeah.
Okay, see, we
Well,
got some disagreements happening here. I think this was.
Like it didn't
I don't
have
know.
it didn't have for me it didn't have any purpose. Like it ended and then
You're
like
saying-
no
you're saying
nothing
that-
happened.
Yeah, you're saying that. She has a good point. Like, and we're not trying to we don't want to give spoilers away, but that's something that does tend to happen. I think in Marvel movies, and maybe this is a good example of one where. I'd say because of some of the question marks at the end that we don't know what state a lot of the characters are in after this, so we don't really know what the events of this how the events of this movie have changed, in what ways they've changed the Marvel universe. You're saying that there could be like more resolution for you, and that would make the movie better.
Yeah, exactly. Like it seemed like we saw a movie about two friends that are fighting, and then they can't. I don't know what to say. But yeah, two friends fighting, and that's that. I don't know.
Well, as far as like for me, as far as with Marvel movies, I gotta see it again. Right now, I still like Winter Soldier like slightly better, and I like Winter Soldier better than the first Captain America. Although I love that movie too.
Well, you love all movies with superheroes.
No, not all. Okay, like what Deadpool. I was thinking what my rating on Deadpool would be, and that would be like a 7.5.
All right,
Like a 7, maybe.
For me, it would be like an 8,
Okay.
like on the same thing.
Well, I saw
or
it
different
twice
ways.
too.
Deadpool. Or...
Yeah, because I saw it on the computer. But yeah. Well, okay. Okay, so in the comments, if you don't mind, did anybody else like BVS better than this? And do you want us to do a spoiler review? Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out my artwork, there's a link in the...
It's iotaillustration.threadless.com. You can find all Iota illustration artwork there and buy t-shirts or whatever you can think of.
Right, and then if you just want to see my art not on t-shirts, there'll be a link for that as well in the section below the video. So give us a like and maybe a follow. That'd be cool. We're going to do more.